Flosstube. Welcome to the Starlight Stitching Co. Flosstube number 9. Today is February 9th, which I think is kind of funny that on February 9th I'm doing my 9th Flosstube. Yeah, I'm silly and find things like that funny. If you are a returning viewer, thank you very much for coming back. If you are new here, welcome. My name is Amanda Corbett, and I am the creator behind Starlight Stitching Co. I share my cross stitching and whatever other crafts I'm working on. So today I have 4 finishes and 5 whips. Just a tiny bit of haul. I've been a little good, not buying a whole bunch of stuff. And I'll have a small shop update. So a little bit of a life update. The last few days we have been out of town. My husband had business in Atlanta, so we traveled to Atlanta, Georgia, and just got back yesterday. So I'm still not quite back into the groove of things yet. Have been working this morning. So if you've ordered anything over the last 5 or 6 days, that will be going out in the mail tomorrow, unless you ordered a project bag. Those are made to order. I will be working on those this weekend, and those will go out in the mail this coming Monday. So I guess let's get started. The first finish is a big one. It's one I've been working on for a long time. Christmas in Pink by Curie E. Batakuri. It is done and ready to go in the frame. So that's what I'll be working on when I have some time later this week, and I hope to show you the fully finished and framed piece very soon. I love all of the detail in this pattern. This is stitched on an 18 count silver Aida. It came white, and I hand dyed it with some aquamarine Rit dye to be this lovely pale aqua color. It's coming across a little blue in the camera. That's a little washed out, but it is a pale aqua, and it is very pretty with all of the pinks in this pattern, and I love it. So I can get that finished up and gifted. I did finish Time for God by Lizzie Kate. Just a day or two before my father's memorial last week. So that was nice to get this finished. I do have a finishing piece from Hobby Lobby that is on the way, and I can't wait to get that fully finished. The only thing is, I like to have stuff that is going to be out all the time behind glass, just so it doesn't get dusty, because obviously once it's fully finished you can't wash it. But this one will not be behind glass, so I don't know, maybe I'll stitch one with colors for each season so I can switch them out. That way I don't have the same one out all the time. I don't know, we shall see. But for now I'm waiting on the finishing piece to arrive. Another finish is just some more practice knitting. So this is some Baby Bee Adorable Sprinkles yarn. While we were in Atlanta and my husband was doing his work stuff that he needed to take care of, Sophie and I did a little bit of exploring and went to the Hobby Lobby that was close to our hotel, and she spotted this yarn and asked me to make her another doll blanket. So I got a chance to practice some more knitting. I started off with 5 rows of just doing the knit stitch on both sides, and then switched to doing knit 1 purl 1 row, and that's what I've got. I think I'm getting a little bit better on my tension, although this yarn is so crazy colored that you can't really see the stitches very well. I did goof here. I don't know what happened there. I must have done 2 stitches the wrong way. Or at least 1 stitch, I think maybe just 1 stitch the wrong way. Yeah, just 1 stitch the wrong way. But by the time I realized it, I was like way down here. So I started this on Monday, finished it yesterday. There was lots of time to knit on the flight back. And now she has another doll blanket for her dolls. It's a very fun colored yarn. But because of the short color changes, you can't see the stitches very well. But just gave me a little more practice. The third finish I'm really excited about. The weekend before we left on our trip, I decided I wanted a tote that I could carry a couple of different cross stitch projects and my crochet and a knitting project and hold my wallet and whatever else we carry onto the plane. So I made this lovely. I am calling it my multi-project travel tote. So it is a tote bag that is 14 inches wide by 7.5 inches deep by 13 inches tall. Had to measure it, didn't remember. So I did a simple patchwork with a couple of different Bonnie and Camille charm packs that I had on hand. I didn't even use all the fabric. So there's this zipper pocket on the outside that's lined. There is one the same size on the other side. I did make them 2 different colors so I could remember what was on which side. 2 handles. The top has a zipper because I like everything to be able to zip closed. I'm afraid I'm going to drop it and lose something. And then on the inside, I will try to show, there is one large pocket here with a foam stabilizer divider. So back here is where I kept my project bags. And then inside the divider is just a fabric pocket that's perfect for keeping a crochet or knitting pattern, maybe a book. There is a zipper pocket on the inside, which of course I use to hold my scissors and keep them handy. And then also in this pocket, if you can see, are small littler pockets that you could put maybe some extra needles, or to store your crochet hooks or knitting needles, whatever you want to store in there. So there's 4 little divided pockets in there. And of course all of that is inside this larger. This is very difficult to show on camera, this larger pocket area. So it's really nice and handy. It held up well. I do want to make another one with some bigger zippers because I was just using the ones I had on hand with this little zipper pull. They're a little difficult to get a hold of. But it's fully lined, binding across the top, and sturdy handles to carry it by. So I love it. I want to try making another one. I did make notes along the way, so this could eventually turn into a pattern that will be available. I don't plan to sew these to sell full time because there is a lot of work that goes into them. It's time consuming, especially with the patchwork. Full fabric, it probably wouldn't be as bad, but I don't know. Maybe I'll do a few special requests. We'll see. I don't know. Okay, so that is it for all of my finishes. I'm really proud of that tote bag. It turned out exactly how I had it in my mind, and it worked great to hold all of the extra stuff, including my wallet while we traveled. It was great. So now into some whips. After I had everything packed up in my tote bag ready to go, I didn't want to have to pull anything out of it. So the last day before we left, I worked on Christmas rules. No, it's not Christmas time. It's Valentine's time. But I worked on Christmas rules. So I got a little bit more done down here. I think I added this stocking here, and then I'm working on the word stocking. This is stitched on a 32 count raw gold linen with the is it called for? Nope. I switched up the colors. So here. We'll see if you can read that. One of them, this one here that got smudged somehow, that's Bean Sprout. So I switched it to Classic Colorworks colors. But there it is. Figure I'll just pick it up here and there. Having a specific goal of projects to work on last time really helped me focus. I was a little lost there for multiple reasons. So next up, I worked on my wild chicory pattern, so I'm working on stitching up the sample. I did get some stitching done on the plane and while we were there, but here's my progress. So I have all of the flower stems in and an outline for the grassy area, which is going to take quite a while to fill in, and an outline of some of the gray for the post. I'm working on getting the colors in for all those flowers, and then I'll continue on the post. Filling in the grass was great stitching on the airplane ride. So I'm going to try to focus on this, because I really want to get it done for you. I did have a recent new start. I don't remember if I shared this on my last Flosstube or not. I think I did. I'm pretty sure I did. I haven't made a whole lot of progress since, and you get it with the thread. So this is Big Hearted Tiny Town by Heart and Hand. I am stitching on a 32 count I don't see the package handy. It was an Artiste from Hobby Lobby brand, 32 count linen with some pink speckles. Maybe you can see them there. But I dip dyed it in some fuchsia Rit dye and then splattered some of the fuchsia dye up here. But either way, there's my progress. I've got the house and the hill and the chimney, and I'm just working on the flower stems. I did make a mistake on this leaf here. It's an extra stitch too long. I'm probably just going to leave it because not all flowers are perfect. And I think my lighting is going really funky. I did take with me my Strawberry Fair, yeah, I'm holding it right side up, my Strawberry Fair supplies, but I didn't start it. Maybe I'll start it this week just to say I started it. We shall see. I made a little bit of progress on the Blue Sky cardie for my daughter. Let me get the pattern out. It's still in my tote bag. This is a very well-worn pattern. I've made it multiple times now. So this is the Blue Sky Cardie by Katarina. And I am making this in some hand-dyed yarn from, where did I put the yarn? I put the leftover yarn somewhere. Just one moment. This isn't the yarn, but it's the same maker. So it's Threads by Megan Nicole. She's on Etsy and she has her own website. She does some beautiful hand-dyed yarns. I'm using these two colors to work on this blue sky cardi sweater. So as you can see, after I did this round and this round, I screwed up. You're supposed to do 2 rows of each color, and I mistakenly went with 1 row of each, and then I realized my mistake and I didn't want to rip all that out. So I'm kind of just continuing with that pattern. That might make it a little more complicated to keep up with, but it'll be more interesting. I think it looks really pretty. It's going to mean more ends to weave in, obviously, because there's more stops and starts. So I'll probably try to do that on the way as I go. I've already got a nice little nest on both sides of ends to weave in. So I did make some progress on that over the last 2 weeks. Didn't like how I started it. I was trying to cheat to not have to weave in. And I'm back. I had something I had to take care of. The house got a little bit noisy there for a little bit, so I had to take a break. And now we're back to filming. So I do have just a little bit of haul. Pause right. I do have just a little bit of haul. Like I mentioned, my daughter and I went to Hobby Lobby while we were in Atlanta, and I picked up a few things. I grabbed 2 of these. They're acacia wood little cutting boards. They call them tableware, wood serveware. It's Hobby Lobby number 5643861. And they are approximately 4.5 inches around. I thought these would be cute for a round finish on some of the Stitching with the Housewives roundabouts. So I just picked up 2 because I don't have any of those in the works right now, but I thought those were really cute. I also grabbed this pretty beaded wood frame from the wood area. It's number 2202794. Lulu, come on, get down. She's always getting in my videos. Always. While we were at Hobby Lobby, every time we go by the DMC floss, Sophie likes to pick me out some colors. So she picked me out a rainbow of colors. I thought there was a purple one because she had to get me a rainbow. Here we go. It was still stuck in the bag. So there's the rainbow of colors that I will add into my extra DMC stack. I picked up some more beads. Hobby Lobby has these giant tubes of seed beads, which I did not know. And that is awesome. All of the charms that come on my clutches, I hand bead those myself. So I like to keep an eye out for pretty beads to use. So these are great seed bead options. Lulu, get down. As well as some of the larger beads. Lulu, oh, get. Goodness. So I picked up some of these really pretty sparkly. Get down. Cat's gonna drive me bonkers. I picked up some of these pretty sparkly pale blue. I thought they'd be great for like a springtime project. She's not getting the message. These pretty blue, like cat's eye, they kind of change colors as the light hits it. Some jade green, and these pretty opalescent crackle ones, which will go with these beads for the charms on the next Clutch Club box clutches. So there's a sneak peek. Sophie fell in love with some rainbow ones, so I promised to make her a rainbow necklace. She is an artist and loves all the colors. So that is a good sum of what I found at Hobby Lobby. I also, a while ago, I've been doing a lot of knitting practice, and I decided I wanted to actually start a real project, not just another doll blanket swatch. So I went to my local yarn shop, which is Momo's Knitting Nook in Leavenworth, Kansas. I'll try to leave a link below. If she has a website, I'm sure she does. I know she's on Instagram. So I will leave that information below. The owner is really sweet, and this is the kit that I picked up. It's Louisa Harding Enorme, and it's a hat pattern. And it came with 2 skeins of the Louisa Harding Enorme yarn in the color Meadowland. Focus, camera, focus. There we go. So I took the time to go ahead and wind these up by hand into balls. Such pretty, kind of wild and crazy, funky colors. It was the last of these kits that were available at Momo's Knitting Nook. I don't know if they're available online somewhere else or not. The pattern is called Bryce Canyon, and it's designed by Grace Akram. Try to just get, there we go. So there's the designer's name, and that's the name of the pattern without showing off the pattern details. I also picked up some size 13 circular knitting needles because this is a new rabbit hole for me, so I don't have all of the gadgets. And the recommended size 11 double pointed needles and some stitch markers. So I'm all set to go on that as soon as I learn all of the abbreviations and learn how to read a knitting pattern. I know how to read crochet patterns. It's probably somewhat similar. But right now, as a beginner, it looks like Greek. I don't know how to read Greek. So that will take time. I'll just have to keep my book handy and reference it a lot. But I think this will be great practice. The pattern is done in a rib stitch style, and there will be decreases, and I just think it'll be really helpful to get me more comfortable with knitting. That way, after I finish this, maybe I can start on my big project that really got me into wanting to learn how to knit. Quick shop update with the upcoming I also, for my local knitting shop, picked up some Clover point protector for circular knitting needles. In other words, to keep my stitches on if it's sitting in a bag. So that was the other thing I got. It was off to the side here and I didn't see it. Quick shop update. I want to share the clutches that will be available February 15th. How are we almost halfway through February? Just seems like this year's already starting to fly by. And then I will get to the giveaway. So on the 15th, I will have more of these beautiful coral butterfly clutches. And sit still. There's the charm on this one. Some more time to stitch with the beautiful Teresa Kogut fabric. This is in a different color combination with some green and the cream background. And we have the same scissor charm with some different beads that match the coloring on the fabric here. got some funky florals. Seemed very retro to me. The charm is a daisy with cream pearl and some corally pink beads here. There we go. Now you can focus. Very fun. Some more of the doodle flowers with this fun black and white border print. I just love the sketchy flowers on here. I'm a sucker for floral prints. That's why you see them so often. And there's the charm. It's a filigree heart with a crystal and some black seed beads. There's the back. And last but not least, sewing buttons in all sorts of different colors. This is such a fun print, and this like tealy blue plaid, and the charm is a button with a blue pearl and silver seed beads. So I have 20 of these. I think 10 of these, 10 of these, 10 of these, and 10 of those. 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60. Yes, that's right. I'm trying to do about 60 each release. That way I have a little more time to work on some new patterns coming up soon. I want to do a lot more with patterns this year. So we will see how that goes. So I've got those all finished, ready to photograph. I'll be working on that later today or tomorrow, and I'll start popping them up on Instagram as I get those photos done. So now we're on to giveaways. The giveaway for last week was the Strawberry Fair pattern because I apparently loved this pattern so much I bought it twice. So my mishap is your gain. The winner of this pattern is Cindy Hofflinger. I will post your comment here. If you could please, Cindy, send me an email at the email address below, letting me know what you've won and your shipping address, and I'll get this popped into the mail to you, hopefully in time so you can start the Strawberry Fair sew-along, or just stitch it along. The giveaway for this week is going to be this Olfa rotary cutter and the Omni Rack Mini. So this is great for holding your quilt rulers on the tabletop. And this is a great rotary cutter that works whether you are left-handed or right-handed. So use the word, use the word cut, C-U-T, in your comment, since this is all for cutting fabric. You can use these, the rotary cutter and quilt rulers, to cut your cross-stitch fabric to size, to cut your finishing fabrics, or if you're a quilter, obviously you can use it to cut quilting fabric and hold your quilting rulers. Very handy tools to have. So if you would like a chance to win both of these items, they're together as a group, please use the word cut, C-U-T, in your comments somewhere. As always, if you have any questions for me, leave them in the comments and I will respond as quickly as I can. That's all that I have for now. As for plans, I'm going to keep plugging away on Wild Chicory so I can get that sample finished for you and the corrected patterns out to those in the Clutch Club. I still have my Cheer and Merriment quilt blocks for this month that I haven't even started, and the month's already half over. So hopefully I'll get some time either this weekend or next weekend to work on those half square triangles, because that was the step I was on. And getting everything ready for the next release. And try to not forget to send out the preview email like I have before. I'm sorry. It's just me, and I have a friend that helps me do some ironing and cutting. So it's just me doing the bulk of the work, which I'm very grateful to the friend that helps me cut and iron fabric, because that allows me to have more time to sew, which helps me get things out faster to you. So I'll be doing that, getting all the orders packaged up and shipped out that I currently have, and making some project bags so I can get those orders shipped out. If there's time, I will try to get some extras done. That way, those who order project bags won't have to wait as long. I'm sorry. I have to work this in between, part-time work and homeschool and managing the house and all that. So I am very grateful to my customers. You make it possible for me to stay home with my little girl and homeschool, and I truly appreciate that. So I have rambled on long enough. Have a fabulous weekend and a great next couple of weeks, and I will talk to you later. Bye.